Hi, my name is Barbara Lester, and I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and I specialize in working with children and adolescents who are on the autism spectrum. And I'm going to review a book that I like to recommend for adults. It could be parents of someone with Asperger's syndrome or an adult with Asperger's syndrome. And it's by Tony Attwood, who's my favorite author about books on the spectrum. And it's his book called The Complete Guide to Asperger's Syndrome. And it's published by Jessica Kingsley. And Tony is an Australian psychologist who is one of the leading specialists in the world on Asperger's syndrome, maybe the leading one. This is his latest book, and he has an extremely sympathetic and helpful attitude towards people with Asperger's syndrome. And I'm just going to read you a little excerpt from his preface that I think captures how he sees this. He writes, "My intention is that reading the guide will enable someone with Asperger's syndrome to understand why he or she is different to other people and not to feel dejected or rejected. It is also important for others to remember there is always a logical explanation for the apparently eccentric behavior of people with Asperger's syndrome. The guide will explain the logic and perspective of the person with Asperger's syndrome." And I really think he does that. I know Tony talks about how he's met with thousands and thousands of people with Asperger's syndrome, and you can tell that from how he talks about them in the way that he can portray it in a way that helps improve understanding and helps with really liking people who are on the autism spectrum. And I want to mention some of the topics he covers. He describes about what Asperger's syndrome is, how it's diagnosed, issues about friendship and teasing and theory of mind, and going on, several other topics, as well as I just also wanted to mention that he's got sections on it about life after high school, college and career choice, and also long-term relationship issues as well. And so parts of that are covered have to do with if someone's in a relationship with someone with Asperger's syndrome and what are some of the qualities that they might see in that relationship. I wanted to highlight that because there's a lot of information out there that's really just geared towards children. So it's more for parents who have young children, and oftentimes parents of older teens or young adults or adults on the spectrum feel that there's not much out there for them. And I feel that Tony helps cover some of those gaps. So again, I just want to recommend Tony Attwood, The Complete Guide to Asperger's Syndrome. And also to let you know that if you're interested in finding out additional information about things about the autism spectrum, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions that you'd like me to try to cover in future blogs, please leave me a comment and I'll try to respond to those when I have time. So thanks for tuning in.